Celtic got a lot of success playing out from the back and dominated most of the possession in the first half. And I think this came from a little tweak from their fullbacks. We're used to seeing the fullbacks invert when they're in possession of the ball, but Rangers play quite a narrow three in midfield. So if even Celtic were able to work it into, say, a Ralston in this position here, for someone like Aribo, that's a really quick and easy press for him to make, and can easily cover from Davis and Kamara in there to win the ball back, and it puts Celtic in quite a vulnerable position. So what they did, the fullback stayed in line with Rangers' front two, and Morelos and Roof. Christie and Turnbull stayed high and up the pitch. Kyogo and Abada pinned the Rangers fullbacks, and obviously Edouard through the middle. And as Celtic worked the ball, Kent was covering McGregor, but that rotated in between. But because the fullbacks were in this line here, it was quite easy to get a pass and knock the ball back and just keep working the ball across the back line. As it progressed to somewhere like along the right hand side, when that ball went out to the fullback and McGregor came across, that pass back attracted Kent a few times. Even if Roof was in here with Starfelt, it then gave a quick and easy pass into the middle for McGregor, Juranovic to push up, and then attacking out on the left hand side. And Celtic did this a lot in the first half and got a lot of success going from right into the central part of the pitch and then moving out to the left. So when Rangers were more organised and managed to force Celtic back into their own half, Joe Hart took a much more prominent position in possession. He was a lot higher up the pitch, which is a good thing because it allows the centre-halves to stay wide, which keeps the two forward players here, and it does create a little bit more space in behind. You could see McGregor directing him to kind of try and hold off as much as possible until his man went to press. Now at this point here, obviously the easiest thing to happen would be McGregor to receive the ball in these areas, but Rangers had pushed up a lot at that point and it made those passes a little bit more tricky. However, Hart was very content on trying to clip into the wide areas, which when you're playing against Rangers midfield three, both Kamara and Aribo are more than comfortable and capable of pressing out into that side and winning it back, and it's actually a tactic they employ quite a lot, because if it goes out to Ralston and Aribo turns the ball over, when Hart drops back and the centre-halves move in to cover, if you play a very, very quick pass forward, you're into a 3v2, which is obviously a really dangerous position to be in. So when Hart's in that position again, yes, they do need to be patient to attract the press, but at this point that's when you would want Turnbull and Christie at that point to try and keep Aribo and Kamara as far away as possible, maybe leaving Davis in there as well. That's maybe when an inverted fullback is really useful, because they can come into that space, and if they're able to turn in 1-2 touches, even if Aribo then comes out to press, again they could play a straight ball into the wide man and go 1v1, or centre midfielder can drop into that space there. If they play, even if this gets across into this position here, then you can go and attack and take it down 2v2 on that side. So although some more positives in their build-up play, you can see that if you're forced back, it's still important to try and play those forward passes on the ground and into feet so you can turn and go and attack the opposition. So for Rangers' goal, there's a couple of things to point out and discuss. Celtic setup is quite strange in the fact that they've got McGregor covering the front of the 6-yard box, which isn't too strange a move. Juranovic is at the back with Kamara Roof. Turnbull's picking up Aribo on the edge. Abada is here, not really doing particularly much, but he's a smaller player, so maybe just there for any pickups and any counter attacks. And you've got Edouard pretty much sitting on top of Joe Hart. Now, as the setup comes, both Welsh and Ralston are picking up Balogun, so there's obviously a breakdown in communication there. I think Starfelt's meant to be picking up Goldson and Christie on Morelos, and Helanders just in this position here. Now, when Barisic delivers the ball, the first movement that happens is very simple. Aribo just takes Turnbull out of this space in here, which again, the front three Rangers players who are attacking the ball just bring everybody in towards this central area, and that gives space for Helander at the back post to jump up and win the ball and power it towards goal. Now I know Starfelt got caught underneath it, but again he was between two men. I'm not quite sure what happened between Ralston and Welsh. You can't give somebody like Helander with his physicality a run like that, so the setup should really be somebody making sure they pick that run up, making sure you're not caught between the three players that are looking to barge in and break through and attack that defensive area. I'm not sure what Edouard brings into this position here, So I don't know what the setup was for corners, if that's a usual Celtic setup, but again, cost them the goal here, and a goal that proved to be really important.